Can't call Grenada home, I can't call Grenada home. This place sweet like honey, I call it honeycomb. Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. So today we will be talking about tropical coconut fragrances. So if that's something that interests you, please keep watching. So before we get started with the video, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Roxanne and this is Roxanne's Retreat. If this is your first time joining me, thank you and welcome. And if you've been here before and you've decided to come back, big up your whole self. And as always, before we get into the real reason you're here, the nitty gritty, let's talk about my lippy. So today I decided to line my lips with Beat from MAC. So it's like a kind of reddish color lip liner. So it's Beat. This one is definitely beat up. That's what it is. But yeah, Beat from MAC. And then in the middle I have this kind of orangey red and it's called Lady Danger. So that's also from MAC. So yeah, there we go. Lippy lip liner. It's a MAC combo. And of course, my scent of the day. So my scent of the day is definitely not a stranger to the Chanel because I love this fragrance. I talk about it all the time. And this one is Tuile de Hermes. So obviously by the fact that it's almost done, and I think this is my second bottle, you can tell that it is a love. So it's Tuile de Hermes. I love the bottle. I love the little tuile on it. So this fragrance opens with ginger, bitter orange, and bergamot. In the middle there's tuberose, orange blossom, and jasmine, and in the base there's sandalwood and vanilla. So this, for me, it's the ginger. This fragrance is so refreshing. It makes me happy. It just, I don't know what it is, but it just gives me a vibe of just carefree happiness. Some people hate this fragrance. That's why we know fragrance is subjective, but I absolutely love Tuile de Hermes, and it's probably gonna be one of the fragrances that's lifelong for me. Absolutely love it. It gives me about 7 hours on the skin, and whenever if I'm having a super long day and I just re-up this, it just gives me a sense of just happiness and brightness. So again, my scent of the day is Tuile de Hermes. Okay, so when you think tropical and coconut, what do you think of? I know I think of my native home. I was born and raised on the island of Grenada. I mean, the Spice Island, the spice of the Caribbean, that's where I was born and raised. Yeah, so anytime I think tropical coconut, I think about living on the island. I never climbed a coconut tree, I'm not that good, but you know, drinking the coconut water straight from the actual coconut, just all the things that, you know, that's tropical to me. That's why, you know, I can't call Grenada home, it's my honeycomb. It's just a little bit more than just home. So yeah, when I think of tropical, that's what I think of. So anyways, I have, I think, 10 or so fragrances here that are coconut forward or has the note of coconut in it. If you've been watching my channel long enough, you know that coconut is a note that is a hit or miss for me. There's some coconut fragrances that just turn on my skin and I smell weird. And yeah, no, that is not what we want to do with our fragrance. We want to smell amazing. So yeah, there's some coconut fragrances that I just cannot vibe with. And then, you know, there's some in my collection that I absolutely enjoy. So let's talk about them. Okay, so before we get into the actual fragrances, I just wanted to talk about this nest oil, this Balinese, Balinese coconut nest oil. So with all the fragrances that I'm gonna talk about today, this, if you wanna add like more of a coconut vibe to the fragrance, if the fragrance isn't pulling enough coconut for you, try that Nest Balinese coconut oil. It is amazing. It smells delicious. And yeah, it goes with every single one of the fragrances that I'm going to talk about today. So I just wanted to bring that up. You could find this at Sephora. Okay, Balinese coconut from Nest. First fragrance up on my list is from the House of Sillage, and this is from the Disney collection, and this is Mickey. Moment of silence for the bottle. All the bottles from the House of Sillage are amazing. If you're a Disney fan like I am, this is everything. So this is Mickey from the House of Sillage. Let me open it up. Let me give her a spray. I'm gonna spray on my little note cards here. Woo-wee. Give some Mickey in the air. So Mickey opens with cardamom, bergamot, and orange. In the middle there's coconut milk, orange blossom, and cacao. And in the base there's sandalwood, vanilla, tonka, and amber. Now this fragrance is one of the fragrances that I spoke about that I feel like is actually slept on. It's a fragrance that doesn't get enough attention. It is sweet yet very refreshing. That coconut note is I feel like it's a little understated, but you can still smell it in the fragrance. This gives me about 6 hours on the skin. Again, it's beautiful for this time of year because it's not heavy. It's light and airy and just absolutely pretty. So again, from the House of Sillage, this is Mickey from the Disney collection. It is still available, so check it out. Try to get your nose on it and see if you like it. And even if you don't like the fragrance, look at the bottle though. Look at the bottle, and they're always on sale. Again, from the House of Sillage, it's Disney. Okay, next fragrance on my list is from the House of Dolce Gabbana, and this is called Dolce Garden. Now, I love these bottles. All the ones from the Dolce Garden collection, you know, they have the little flower on the top. It's so pretty, and so is the fragrance. So this fragrance, let me give it a spray on my card. This fragrance opens with magnolia, neroli, mandarin orange. In the mid there's coconut, frangipani, ylang ylang, and the base is vanilla absolute, almond milk, and sandalwood. So it's creamy. It's like a creamy kind of coconut vibe. In the opening, it's super bright with that mandarin orange. In the middle, there's the coconut, and the coconut, as opposed to the Mickey fragrance that we just discussed, the coconut in this is a little bit more present. You could definitely smell it. It gives you like this sweet tropical vibe. You know, you're sitting on the beach, the wind is blowing, the coconut trees are kind of like rustling, and yeah, you see a guy on the beach and you say, hey, you have coconut water? And he runs and he goes and he picks the coconut and he brings you the fresh coconut water. And that was one of my experiences when I was home last year. You can't beat that though. You cannot beat that, okay? So again, from the House of Dolce & Gabbana, and this fragrance, I would say it's, you know, it's not like beast mode or anything. People will smell you. I feel like I live in like a little scent bubble when I wear this. It gives me about 6 hours on the skin, and I absolutely enjoy it. Again, from the House of Dolce & Gabbana, this is Dolce Garden. Next up, we have a fragrance from the House of Lancome, and this one is La Vie est Belle Soleil Cristal. So this is a flanker of La Vie est Belle, which if you know about fragrances, you've heard about La Vie est Belle. It's one of the fragrances that, yeah, the whole world had and the whole world was wearing at some point in their lives. I do have the original. I definitely don't pull for it a lot. Soleil, what is it? Soleil Cristal. It's pretty. It's a very pretty fragrance. So let me spray it in the cap. Yeah. So it opens with mandarin orange, pink pepper, and bergamot. In the middle, there's ylang ylang, iris, orange blossom, and jasmine. And in the base, here comes the coconut. There's coconut, vanilla, and patchouli. So this is one of the fragrances, and I have a smaller bottle of this. Hence, this one looks like I've never sprayed it, which I have maybe once or twice, but the other bottle is the one that I've used more so. Yeah, this is like a sweet, bright coconut, in my opinion. It gives me about 5 hours on the skin. It is, again, it's not like something that projects. It does leave a pretty sillage. I've worn it and people are like, ooh, it smells like this when they enter the room that I just left. So again, this is from the house of Lancome, and it is La Vie Belle Soleil Cristal. Lord, I had a brain fart. Very pretty coconut fragrance. One of the coconut fragrances that I absolutely love, and it absolutely works on my skin as opposed to some others. Yeah. And this is absolutely readily available. Really good for this time of year, just because of the nature of the fragrance. So get your nose on it and check it out. Okay, so the next fragrance I have here is from Maison Margiela, and this one is called Beach Walk. Replica Maison Margiela, and it is called Beach Walk. Now this fragrance, let me spray her in the air. Let me see. Yeah, it takes you there. It really does take you, like if you're take you to the beach, you're taking a nice little stroll on Grand Anne's Beach, or whichever beach you decide. Grand Anne's Beach just happens to be the beach of choice for me. Yeah, so Beach Walk. Beautiful. So it opens with bergamot, lemon, pink pepper. In the middle there's ylang ylang, coconut milk, heliotrope. In the base there's musk, benzoin, and cedar. So according to the bottle right here, the fragrance description, it gives sun-kissed salty skin. Absolutely, it really does do that. It does transform you to, again, walking on the beach. The salt is spraying on you from the, you know, the little waves, and you know that coconut is in the air. So definitely one of the coconut fragrances with coconut that I absolutely enjoy and does so well for me. It gives me about 5 hours on the skin, and it just transforms me to a really tropical, enjoyable beach. So yeah, Beach Walk from Replica's Maison Margiela. Girl, get it together. Next up, we have a fragrance from Mugler, and it is Alien Goddess Intense. So Alien is a crowd favorite. It's one of the fragrances that you either love it or you hate it. Alien is not a fragrance that I love, but I do love the flankers. I like Alien Goddess, and I prefer Alien Goddess Intense. It is definitely like a denser, heavier, tropical coconut vibe. So it opens with coconut and bergamot. In the middle there's jasmine and jasmine tea, and in the base there's vanilla, benzoin, and cashmere wood. So pretty. Yeah, it's denser than the ones I've spoken about before. So it's like a real sweet coconut. Now, on the beach, like if I'm on the beach, I don't mind like spraying this freely, because you're sitting on the beach, it's really airy, the breeze is blowing. Now if I'm indoors, if I'm not on the beach and like let's say I'm in the city or something in the summertime, I would mind my sprays with this one, because it could get super cloying, super heavy. But it's one of the coconut fragrances that I absolutely enjoy. It's a beast on me. It gives me about 7 hours on the skin. It projects. It leaves the sillage. I get compliments. It does what it needs to do. Okay, so Alien Goddess Intense from the house of Mugler. Another one of my coconut favorites. Next up, I have a fragrance from the house of Erin, and this is called Hibiscus Palm. Now, Erin is like, Erin actually is I think the granddaughter of Estee Lauder, and so this is like kind of like a branch off of the Estee Lauder range. So you can find Erin fragrances, of course, in a lot of department stores, Macy's, Nordstrom, Neiman, Saks, etc. But you can also find it on the Estee Lauder site. So this one is called Hibiscus Palm. And yeah, it's so pretty. It's one of the more elevated, I think, more sophisticated tropical coconut scents for me. So it opens with hibiscus. I'm not sure what hibiscus smells like. I think hibiscus, the note of hibiscus might just be like a fantasy note, because I grew up in the Caribbean and hibiscus smells like nothing. It's one of my favorite flowers, but it doesn't smell like anything. Anyways, back to the notes. So top notes are hibiscus, ylang ylang, and ginger. In the middle there's frangipani and white flowers. In the base there's coconut milk, vanilla, and musk. So I definitely get, obviously I definitely get the coconut. I get some of the white florals in here. Let me spray it on my skin. I get some of the white florals in here, but it's not like super indolic. Although this is also one of the denser coconut fragrances that I'm going to speak of today. It's not as light and airy like Mickey Mouse or the Soleil Cristal. This one is denser. Yeah, and it does take me to like a super upscale tropical vacation. So I am spending my vacation on a really exclusive, all-inclusive beach resort somewhere, okay? Hibiscus Palm from Erin. Definitely a fragrance that you should get your nose on, especially in this tropical vacation season. It gives me about 7 hours on the skin. It wears closer to my skin. I don't know about other folks, but it wears closer to me. I'm in a very pretty scent bubble. And when people come in close to me, they do say, oh, you smell nice. So again, Hibiscus Palm from the House of Erin. Okay, so next up is a fragrance that's been launched in this year. It just launched maybe about a month or so. And this one is from the 7 Virtues, and this one is called Coconut Sun. So the 7 Virtues is one of those really clean brands. So if you're into like really clean fragrance brands, this is one of them, the 7 Virtues, and this is Coconut Sun. Like I said, it's a newer fragrance. I've only worn it one time. So it opens with coconut. In the middle there's frangipani, and in the base there's vanilla. So it is a sweet coconut fragrance. It does smell, you know, like you're on the beach somewhere again. It's light, it's very light, it's very airy. The vanilla doesn't weigh it down. It gives it the sweetness, but it does not weigh the fragrance down. It is just still very light, airy, tropical, vacation vibes, wide hat, doing your thing, you know, glistening in the sun. You hear me? So yeah, Coconut Sun from the 7 Virtues. Like I said, I've worn it one time. It gave me about 4 hours on the skin, but I gotta keep wearing it to see what else it does. But yeah, it's a newer fragrance, and I just like the 7 Virtues. Their packaging is just so simple, and you know, like I said, they're a clean brand. So when you buy it, you know it's not filled with a bunch of icky stuff that's gonna disturb the environment. Yep, so 7 Virtues, Coconut Sun, another very pretty coconut forward fragrance. Next up is a fragrance from the House of Tom Ford, and everybody knows the fragrance I'm going to say. If you are into fragrances, you've heard of it, and this is Soleil Blanc from Tom Ford. So it is a very popular fragrance, and a lot of people speak about it for, you know, upscale, you know, vacations, like, you know, you're on the yacht, you're doing this, you're doing that. So this one opens with pistachio, bergamot, and pink pepper. In the middle there's tuberose, ylang ylang, and jasmine, and in the base there's coconut and tonka bean. So this fragrance here gives me more of a, you know, although there's a nice coconut vibe to it, it gives me more of a coconut suntan lotion kind of vibe. You know, you really have to understand the fragrance to love it. This is the Eau de Parfum. There's also a Eau de Toilette that's in a like a clear bottle as opposed to a white one. Yeah, it's a very popular fragrance. It's a very popular fragrance for this time of year, for vacation. You know, a lot of reviewers, they say, oh yeah, whenever I'm going on vacation, I'm pulling this out. And yeah, you know, it is definitely okay for this time of year. It gives me about 4 hours on the skin, and yeah, it does have like a suntan lotion kind of vibe. I do get some of that tuberose in there. I smell the coconut, I smell the sweetness from the tonka bean. So yep, Soleil Blanc from Tom Ford, another very pretty coconut fragrance. Next up is a fragrance from M. Michelaf, and I think this is probably one of my favorites on this whole list. And this one is called Ylang Gold from M. Michelaf. Yep, this one is engraved with my stage name, Foxy Roxy. I know you guys see it. And look at the bottle though. Look at the bottle. This is such a gorgeous fragrance. I love it. I love it. So it opens with fruity notes. There's a lot of fruits at the top, right? A ton. In the middle, there's Ylang Ylang, sandalwood, and magnolia. And then the base, there's vanilla, coconut, and musk. Very, very pretty fragrance. Now this one is really girly. You know, it just makes me feel so feminine. It gives me about 6 hours on the skin. It's pretty. You get that coconut, but it's not super strong, but you know that it gives you like this tropical vibe. It's definitely gets compliments. You know, people say, oh my gosh, you just smell so pretty. And yep, Ylang Gold by M. Michelaf. All right, next up we have a fragrance from the house of Kayali, and it is Utopia Vanilla Cocoa number 21. I wanted to make sure I had it right. So yep, this is what it looks like. My dent is deep. I need a new bottle. Who's listening? I need a new bottle. Ooh. Yeah, so this one opens with coconut. There's honeysuckle, pear blossom. In the middle, there's tuberose, jasmine sambac, and gardenia. And in the base, there's bourbon vanilla, sandalwood, and musk. So this is a light, airy, sweet, but not overly sweet, really coconut forward fragrance. It's a fragrance that just develops so wonderfully on my skin. I don't know if anybody else or everybody else has this same experience, but that's what it does. It transforms me again to like laying on the beach or sitting on the beach, just, you know, sitting like right where the waves break, and you know, you're just smelling the sea salt and the coconut in the air. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. If you haven't already, get your nose on this. They have it at Sephora. You could smell it. You don't have to blind buy it. If you love coconut, you could definitely blind buy this. This is really safe. Yep. So this is Utopia Vanilla Cocoa number 21 from the house of Kayali. Very, very gorgeous coconut forward fragrance. Okay, last but certainly not least, we have this fragrance from the house of Guerlain, and this is called Terracotta. Now this fragrance here, so it opens with tiara, flower, coconut, and bergamot. In the mid, there's jasmine, ylang ylang, and orange blossom, and in the base, there's vanilla and musk. If you notice, a lot of these fragrances that we discussed has ylang ylang in it, and that is like a yellow tropical floral. So yeah. Now people tend to compare this to Bronze Goddess from Estee Lauder. For me, this is hands down a better fragrance than Bronze Goddess. My opinion, I love Terracotta. Actually, the person that I heard speaking about this fragrance first is Marie Colette, and I'm gonna link her channel below. And I was looking at her, and I look at her, I enjoy looking at her, she's funny. And yeah, she always talked about Terracotta, and I have Bronze Goddess in my collection. And you know, when she said that, you know, she prefers this to Bronze Goddess, I was like, oh no. But then I got this, and then I compared it to Bronze Goddess. And yes, Maria, you were absolutely correct. My opinion, this is a gorgeous coconut fragrance. It just smells like a little bit more refined, a little bit more upscale than Bronze Goddess. It's not, I feel like Bronze Goddess has this kind of sharpness in it that Terracotta doesn't. So this is one of the fragrances, again, that, you know, you pull out for a really nice vacation. This is giving me Hawaii, Maui vibes, you know? You know, you're just sitting on the beach, or like kind of like on some of the ledges that look down on the beach, if that makes any sense. And you know, the waves are breaking, and you know, you're having a cocktail, maybe a pina colada or something else with coconut in it, and you're just enjoying the day. You're just getting your whole entire life. So yep, if you haven't gotten your nose on this Terracotta by Guerlain, it is easily available, readily available. You can find it on Amazon. I think I got mine from Amazon. So you can find it on Amazon. It's also on the discount sites. So yeah, get your nose on it. Let me know what you think. But I find this fragrance absolutely captivating. So this is Terracotta from the house of Guerlain. Okay, y'all, so we've come to the end of the video. Oh my goodness, I had 11 fragrances. So for somebody that coconut is hit or miss, I do have 11 fragrances with coconut in it that doesn't go weird on my skin. I think I have a couple more, but I didn't want this video to be too long. Again, if you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up so you know people can know you like the video. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.